Okay, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll let a few more people in. All right. All right, we are filling up. Okay, all right, great. Good evening, everyone. I'm April Wagner, and my husband Bobby and I are going to be your hosts tonight, and I'm so glad you took the time to find out about this really amazing discovery. I have to tell you that my husband and I have been in this industry now for right at 30 years. And we actually worked with a company before this for about 25 years that was a supplement company. And part of the discovery that I'm going to talk about tonight is the difference between what we call activation, which is this brand new discovery, and supplementation, which you may be familiar with. Supplementation is really, if you've ever taken a multivitamin or you've taken vitamin C or D or, anything like that, those are what we would consider supplements. It's also the reason people ingest fruits and vegetables. But this is pretty cool. There was a scientist in a lab that had a question, and he wondered if declining health is something that must be, or we must accept as part of aging. And it's pretty cool. He went into the lab and he found out that our genes actually have the ability to create their own antioxidants. In fact, have done all our lives, have created these antioxidants that I thought you had to, actually ingest or take in. And he found out that there's actually a pathway in our bodies that creates all these antioxidants. And he was awarded a lot of awards for this discovery. The Elliott Crescent Award was one of them. And most of the people that are familiar with the awards were either doctors or scientists, in this field in particular. And so he found out that this pathway can actually create all these antioxidants. And that's really what we need to keep us healthy, stop the aging, inflammation, all those different things. The only downside was that he realized that this pathway that creates all these antioxidants actually stops working in our 20s. And so then we do now know that aging actually starts in our 20s. Well, he went back to the lab for a number of decades, and he discovered a way to actually flip the switch on this aging pathway. And again, we've been in this industry for 30 years. We brought supplements into physicians' offices for 25 years. So you can imagine when we found out about this science 4.5 years ago, how excited we were. I mean, we had done over $200 million in sales with all those physicians, again, in and out of their offices, and kind of thought we had, a really good handle on what was the best thing to do as far as supplementation, but we found out this activation is actually the best. And this pathway is called NRF2 activation. And what it does is it actually turns on our good genes. And so by this, I mean, I don't know about you, but, as I get older and even for many years, I've often wondered, I had a grandma who my husband and I took care of for years. She was in and out of nursing homes, and her death was in a horrible way, as she didn't know who I was, and diapers, feeding tubes, all that stuff. And, there are statistics out there that say, the last 10 years of our life, we're going to be greatly dependent on maybe our kids, the medical system, pharmaceutical drugs, different aids and stuff. And really, that's not the way that anybody wants to live. And, Bobby's grandmother had quite the opposite path. She had 9 children. She sat down in her chair after having labeled everything in the house as to who was to get what. So there was no fighting, and she just passed. And so, I often think that's certainly the way that I want to go. But I do know that we have to keep these genes, flip on as many of the good genes as we can. And so it's now say that we have control, for a long time, they were saying 80%, maybe as high as 90% of our genes, as far as warding off all the bad stuff. We are not destined anymore to whatever our family history might be as far as disease and aging. We are not destined to that anymore. We can flip the switch on that. So this is really, really exciting stuff. Excuse me. There's a medical term called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is really the amount of antioxidants that we take in, but they're actually being eaten up or diseased by the amount of free radicals that we have every day because of our environment, our cell phones, pesticides, microwave, but really just anytime you eat, chew, drink, swallow, do anything like that, talk, you're creating all these free radicals. And we can't take in enough antioxidants. And so this is what he became aware of. So you can see over time, a normal cell actually gets very diseased looking. So he came out with this product. I said, he came out with this discovery on how to flip the switch. And he did it with this product called Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And what it does is it reduces what I just talked about, those disease cells and stuff, reduces oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And this was really a aha, particularly, again, to a lot of physicians and scientists. Protandim activates your body to create more than 1 million times per second the antioxidant value. Increases glutathione. If you're not familiar with that, that's our master antioxidant. There are actually studies out there now that by increasing glutathione or glutathione levels can greatly inhibit, some of the new pandemic diseases, things that are going on out there. And I think you know what I'm talking about. There are some 13 patents protecting the duplication of this formulation because, as you can see on the bottom, it's a plant-based formulation. So, we really get people excited on 2 levels. One, that it's plant-based, and 2, the power of this product. You would bet that every pharmaceutical, nutraceutical company out there would want to copy this patent. So again, we have these patents. But look at, what's in this product. Again, it's all plant-based. And again, because Bobby and I were working in all those physician offices bringing supplements in, we took 3 of the 5 of these plant-based products. Turmeric was one that we took, green tea, and ashwagandha. We took those, and we could have said, you know what, why don't I just add the bacopa milk thistle to it and call it a day? Well, you know what, it doesn't work. It's the synergistic effect, the formulation, the recipe that he has with this one little yellow pill, and I'd rather take 1 pill instead of 5 any day. But by taking his recipe, his combination, we get 1,800% better results than if I tried to take all 5 of these and play mad scientist. And I bet it's probably even cheaper to take 1 pill instead of 5. And I'd rather take the 1 instead of 5 any day. But 1,800% better results by using just that 1 pill. But it gets even better than that. The benefits we get from just this 1 pill are equivalent to if every day, day in and day out, we ate 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 tablets of vitamin C, and drank 87 glasses of red wine. I don't know about you, but there's no way I could do that. And I did run the figures on that one day. It would cost a lot more, considerably more. I think it was around $700 than me just taking this one little pill, which is very inexpensive compared to trying to ingest all that food. But this is the cool part. This still gets me excited, and I hope you can really appreciate this. So listen to this. So for every month that you're on Protandim, you reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress, a whole decade. So much so that if I took an 80-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 8 months, I took a 60-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 6 months, I took a 40-year-old who had been on Protandim for 4 months, and a 20-year-old. I could not tell whose blood was that originally of the 20-year-old. So again, every month you're on Protandim, you reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress, which is aging, inflammation, all diseases out there. Super, super exciting. So much so that the National Institute of Aging did a study that shows that Protandim actually extends life by 7% in male mice. And there's a reason they use animals. Their oxidative stress level is so much greater. If you can think of your dog, dogs live a much shorter life. It's because their oxidative stress levels are 7 times greater than ours. And again, this has never been my opinion. When we brought supplements into those physician offices for all those years, it very much was my opinion, how much vitamin C, how much vitamin D, what type of multivitamins, phytonutrients you should be taking. Protandim has actually got 30 plus studies, and you could go to pubmed.gov, you can go to Google Scholar and see the different studies on Protandim and maybe some different disease states you're concerned with. But there are some 250,000 studies on PubMed or Google Scholar you can go to see about oxidative stress and how damaging oxidative stress is and how healthy it is and reversing it is by just reducing our oxidative stress levels. This is so, so important. And once you've heard this, this can't be taken back. You'll be amazed. But some of the studies are done by Harvard, the National Institute of Health, Florida State, Colorado University, Washington State University went so far as to say the health effects of NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And they liken this to things like penicillin, stem cells, aspirin, big discoveries that we've gone through. The second pathway, and this is equally important, and more is coming out, you may have just heard a little bit about this, is that of the NRF1 or mitochondria. Mitochondria is that energy that we have at every cellular level. You may have heard of ATP. It's the energy in the cell. And this is so important for allowing our bodies to stay healthy and shorten lifespan. But the downside is as we get older, particularly by the time we get to midlife, we've already reduced half of the amount of mitochondria that we have in each cell. And so you got to wonder if the correlation is, after 40, it's downhill. I don't know about that, but that energy, that ATP, that mitochondria is so important. So by increasing it, we can slow down the aging process. We improve sleep quality and cellular repair. It supports cardiovascular system and brain health. It really just improves all our cells in the reproduction process. But boosting mitochondria is super, super important. And you can see again, the all plant-based ingredients here. And it's really the synergistic effect, the recipe that he has put together with this product in particular. The third pathway of aging, and this is even more recent and super, super exciting, is that of NAD. So for decades, people have been trying to increase this protein at a cellular level. They're called sirtuins. And really the only way to date had been that if you went on a severe calorie restricted diet. So for me, it would be to really only be able to have 400 to 600 calories per day. And that's not fun. Nobody would like to do that. So by taking these two pills, we get 100% increase in the amount of sirtuins we have, and in the first 24 hours. So it really is amazing. But some of the benefits that we get, and really whatever your weakest thing that's going on there is what you'll feel from this, because you do feel it that very first day you take it. It improves mental focus and concentration, supports positive mood and motivation, helps with exercise endurance, exercise recovery, boosts mental and physical energy, helps with libido, helps with weight loss, helps the body's inflammation response, helps with cholesterol levels and the vascular system, and so many more benefits. It really is a true anti-aging product that we absolutely, I love this product anyway. So what's really cool about it is people will say, which one do you think I need the most, or which one's the best for me? It's really using all three of these together that we get 2,100% better results with each product itself. And this is a patent pending process that we have going on because, obviously they have to do all the science behind it and stuff, but this is what's come out with the early studies is 2,100% better results by using all three, activating all three pathways as opposed to just activating one or the other. What's super cool is we've taken this NRF2 activation and we've brought it into hair care, we've brought it into skin care, we've brought it into eye care, we have pet care, we have brain health, energy drink, so many different products that we've extended this NRF2 activation in. So we now have it on the inside, super important, and on the outside, we get great benefits. The skincare and the hair care is on an app. It's rated by an app called Think Dirty. And Think Dirty rates any products. It could be lipstick, mascara, body shampoo, or whatever you're using. Rates it on a scale of 0 to 10, how clean your product is. And I got to tell you, I was blown away on how bad the products that were so-called labeled clean that Bobby and I were using. But you can see the skincare and hair care is really only, the worst is a 3, but most of them come in at a 1 or a 2. So they are super, super clean products. Okay. And so just, a summary of benefits, the product line improves sleep quality, improves exercise, endurance and recovery, vitality, increases overall energy, better memory, focus, concentration, healthier hair, skin, and nails. As a lady, I like that. And slows down the aging cells and restores our own blood, as I had said, earlier, to that of a 20-year-old, which is super, super exciting. That's the discovery of the products. But what's really exciting is the backstory on the company. And I'm going to invite my husband to come in and sit with you and actually share that real exciting story. So if you'll hold on for 1 minute, he's going to take over. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing? It's funny. Obviously, I'm sitting in the other room nearby, and I'm hearing April talk about the products. And I've heard what they do before because I've been using them. But every time I hear the products again, I just want to go in the cabinet and take them again. Okay, I just want to take them again, and I'm one of these guys that, if one is good, two's better. If two's good, four's better. And I don't know if that's true or not. I can tell you one thing, that NRF2, I have convinced myself that since I weigh twice what April weighs, I'm taking 2 of them because she takes 1, so I take 2. But the products excite me. And we're in an industry where, April told you earlier, we worked almost exclusively with physicians for 25 years, okay, setting their practices up with like franchises, with supplements, wellness and weight management and omega-3s and all that kind of stuff, and had a business within their business. And we never heard about this. We never heard of this company. We never heard of the science. And when we learned that the science had advanced into activation instead of supplementation, and that there were ways to reactivate our bodies, the way God intended for them to work, the way they worked when we were younger, like teenagers and in our early 20s and stuff, that was exciting. And then when we learned it was patented, and not just in the United States, but patented around the world, and that health institutions and medical institutions and colleges had used their own money to study it. I mean, that stuff just got me all excited. So you're probably wondering, well, what is LifeVantage? Who is LifeVantage? That's our name, okay? And what's really interesting, and if you haven't seen this, whoever invited you on tonight, ask them to send you this, okay? The 2005 ABC Primetime Investigative Report. Now, if you've ever watched TV, especially ABC Primetime Investigative Report, it's one of those gotcha shows. They look for scams, cheats, liars, that type of stuff. It's one of those kind of shows. And they sent John Kiyunis, who is a regular investigative reporter, in to prove that our product didn't work and that, it was a lie, okay? And thank God, the most amazing thing happened. That gotcha show ended up becoming our commercial, and we still show it today, even though it's antiquated, okay? You'll see when you watch it, it's from 15, 16 years back. But it's amazing. He had his own blood taken. He didn't wait a month. What's been medically proven is over the course of 30 days, an average of 40% is reduced. You reduce your oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And he didn't even wait 30 days after using the product. He only waited 2 weeks, and he had his blood checked again. And his oxidative stress had already gone down 45%. Amazing. I mean, just so it ended up like becoming our commercial. We're now listed on the NASDAQ, but one of the big changes that happened, can you imagine? We were in the industry. We did $200 million, okay, our team in sales in the industry, and had never heard of it. And the reason why is it was new, okay? It was new science. Sometimes it could take 20, 30, 40 years for new science to get to the market. Okay, so we switched our marketing system from retail, being in pharmacies and GNC and vitamin stores, where the sales clerks didn't know anything, just like we had never heard of it. And we switched it to direct sales 12 years ago in 2009. And everything changed. See, the product needed to be explained. It was a testimonial-based product. That led to the industry of nutrigenomics becoming, an entirely new market. And LifeVantage, our company, is the leader in that industry. And that industry is going to surpass 17 billion in sales in the next year or two. And if you don't know what nutrigenomics is, it's just the way food and supplements and nutrients and interact with our genes. Okay, it's just the science of how that interacts with our genes. Our company's doing about 230 million a year in sales now. And one of the things I always like to mention, because it was one of my favorite movies, Erin Brockovich, who is obviously a health advocate globally. And, Julia Roberts played her in the movie, but she's actually on our corporate board and is just in love with these products. So that's a little bit about who LifeVantage is. Now, we're a global company, okay? We're doing business in 23 countries. Our latest is the Philippines, okay? We just went in about, 90 days ago. We have plans to take this science and these products, okay, all over the world. And no, you don't have to know somebody in another country for that to matter, because of the internet, because of social media, because of the way things are marketed now, like the Amazon way, we do business all over the world, a lot of times right from our kitchen table. Okay, so it's just an amazing global opportunity. And we have plans to go into about 100 countries over the next 5 or 6 years. Now, what are the benefits? Okay, and I'd like you to think about this, because I'm not going to go into a long-winded thing or anything. I'm just going to take a few minutes, but what are the benefits of this kind of business? And what I'd like you thinking about as I go through the benefits, think of what happened over the last 2 years, with this pandemic. And I don't know where everybody lives, okay? There's a lot of people on here. There's a lot of guests on here. And, whether you're in a red state or a blue state, you might have been locked down. You may not have been locked down. There may have been mask requirements, no mask. It could have been all kinds of things. But here's the one thing that I know. All of our lives changed, and everybody we know, okay, things happened. Some people lost their lives, some people got sick, some people didn't. I mean, all kinds of things went on. The world changed in the last 2 years. So keep that in mind, because we have a business where you can work from home, where everybody wants to do. 5 million people quit their jobs a couple months ago. We can work from home or anywhere we are, where our phone works or we have internet service, anywhere in the world, okay? What we do is socially share information in the form of a text, a video, or from an app on our phone. That's all we're doing, okay? We share information with others and let them form an opinion and decide if they're interested or not. Everything's done from a virtual office. Okay, we run, April and I we're in, I don't even know now, probably 10 or 11 different countries. And we run a multi-million-dollar business from our house, from either our phones or our laptops. There's minimal startup costs. There's no inventory requirements. It's done the Amazon way. It's just done online, okay? We have our own personal online store in every market and every language. And all the products are shipped direct to the customer. We don't have to touch it. It's really an amazing system. And I'm highlighting some of this because of what happened in the last 2 years. Look how beneficial this is, just for everything to be drop shipped right to the front door of every person that wants to use it. And you or I don't have to touch it. Now, financially, and again, I'm just going to take a minute on this, but just to give you an idea, that Tri-Synergizer that April's talking about? It's like one of our most popular products. The NRF2 is the most popular. And the three of them used together, it's the second most popular. So that's why we talk about it. Do you realize if there were 50 people using that, okay, that would throw off an income. Now, in the beginning, there's a 40% commission. So I'm not talking about that. It's a large commission. I'll share that with you in a second. But on repeat orders, on monthly orders, that would be worth about $700 a month. Do you know, as a Pro 5, that's the second red arrow there? That's about 200 people total using that product. And that's $3,000 to $4,000 a month. That's like $40,000 a year supplemental money. Okay. And as the Pro 7, the third red arrow there, that's $13,000, $14,000 a month. That's a couple $100,000 a year. Now, you know what professions pay that. Okay. So that's about 1,000 people on the product. Now, I didn't say you have 1,000 people on the product. That could be 10 people with 100 customers. That could be 5 people with 200 customers. What I'm sharing with you is word of mouth is strong, and we have the highest reorder rate and the longest amount of time that people stay on a subscription in the entire industry, bar none. So it's, you know, it's kind of like once it gets started, it never stops. Now, the two things I'm going to finish with is this a good business opportunity? You know, is it good? And can I do it? You know, can you do it? Well, let's see. Is it good? Unique patented products that are not available anywhere other than an exclusive, you know, distributor of LifeVantage. LifeVantage don't sell the product direct. It ain't available anywhere other than through, and the products are patented. We have a massive market. It's called the world. Okay. The world is our market. Everybody gets benefits from little kids all the way up to geriatrics. They're super affordable. I mean, if you had to buy the individual ingredients, you could go broke. If you had to buy the food that equaled the ingredients, you'd go broke. But it's backed by reputable science. There's no opinion here. It's all science-based, consumable. And like I said, we use a subscription model. Now, can I do this? Please listen carefully to this, because I mean this from the bottom of my heart, what I'm about to say. You are already doing this. You're just not getting paid yet. I mean that, okay? See, if you use an app on your phone, if you text from your phone, if you've ever checked Facebook on your phone, if you've ever called an Uber on your phone, if you've ever checked your email, you are already doing, and you already have the skills to do this business, because the information that we share, we provide to you. Okay, that's there. Okay, we do the business during the in-between times of our day, just like when you check your messages, your voicemail, your email, your text, you know, what people are tweeting, what they're posting on Facebook. That's how we do this business. And we have a super simple, easy to follow ITT system. It's our kind of our daily method of operation that we call it. We invite people to take a look at something. That could be a Zoom like tonight. That could be a video. That could be, you know, a one-on-one. It could be anything we want, but we share a tool, and then we use our team to answer questions. Okay. I mean, super, super easy. And we have some of those regular meetings and trainings, but I'll tell you what I love most about this. Okay. And I love the incentive trips too. We get to travel around the world. But what I love most about this is that for 25 years, April and I, and we were the #1 distributors in another company, you know, all the meetings were done in office buildings and hotels and, you know, facilities like that. And what I love about this now is that everything is shareable. Okay. Everybody can do the business online and just invite people. And it just got so much easier to do. So the next thing is, how can you be supportive? You know, somebody thought enough of you to invite you to share a secret. Because see, this is the best kept secret in the world. So somebody thought enough of you that you would be interested in at least the health benefits. and maybe taking advantage of the fact that we just need tons more distributors. Okay. So you can get involved and become a customer. Okay. And by being on subscription, which is very easy to cancel or change. Okay. So you're not making any commitment on that, but you get a 20% discount and free shipping just by being on a subscription. Okay. You could join us in the business and help us share the products and the results with other people. We have Facebook groups that you can learn about what the products do. People share their testimonies there, but we can show you how to build a legacy business for you in the meantime, and something, if you got children or grandchildren, you can pass it on to them down the road. We want you to be a source of referrals. And I think if there's one thing that I would ask you tonight is, we all know people whose lives changed over the last 2 years, and they're looking for that second source of income. They're looking for that alternative. They're looking to not be in a difficult situation should it ever happen again. Let them know that you found something. I'd prefer you'd be a referral source for yourself, and just join us in our crusade. But if that's not something that you want to do or interested in doing, please be a source of referrals for the person who thought of you and invited you on here this evening. Okay. So how do you get started? Well, it don't get any easier than that. Okay. It's just speak to the person who told you about this Zoom and just say, hey, I'd like to be a customer. Hey, I still have a few questions. Hey, I'd like to join you in the business. Whatever it is, just let them know, and they'll advise you accordingly. But take a minute to look at this. Let me share something with you. And I just gave a couple basic examples. When we introduce the product to a person, the company pays us a 40% commission on that first order. So let me just give you an example what that means. For the ladies out there, if you had an appointment tomorrow to get your nails done, a manicure, okay, and let's say I don't know what that costs because I don't do that, but I'm guessing it's about $40. Do you know that you would earn $40 just by referring one person who bought a Tri-Synergizer that April talked about earlier? If you had a beauty salon appointment to get your hair done, and let's say that's $120, do you know if you referred 3 people that bought Tri-Synergizers, you'd make the $120 and you cover that bill? Do you know if you had a $350 car payment and one person got involved with us as a distributor, you'd earn enough money to make the car payment? And even rent, okay? And I don't know what rent is depending on where you live and what you rent. And I just use $1,400. That's an apartment here in Orlando. You could offset that with four distributor packs. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you an idea that there's money to be earned immediately to take care of immediate things. The products are available to work immediately for people that are having issues with certain things. Just read about it on our Facebook page. But, that's just a short example. But I don't want to go over, because we always say we want to stick to about 30 minutes, and I'm about 2 minutes over now. So I want to say thank you. We are very thankful that you did give us your time and support. And if you want to find us to read more or hear about what the products are doing in people's lives, you can find us on Facebook groups. It's called Team Unity Wins. You'll see it says Lifespan Matters. The person who invited you onto this Zoom tonight can send you the link so you can join the group and read up on that. But I want to do my favorite part right now. I love to see all the faces. Zoom has really grown on me. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. But as soon as I started doing Zooms all over the world and realized I could be home and do business all over the world, I liked it. Okay, I got excited about it. So I want to cut the slides off and go back to the original screen. So let me click that. Oh, there's everybody. See, that's my favorite screen. Okay, I like to see all the pretty, faces out there. It's, to me, this is the most exciting part of the business, is that you have an opportunity to speak to folks all over the country and all over the world. We all have a chance to do that and share things accordingly. Okay. And it's just absolutely amazing what is going on with technology these days. And we provide you the tools to share with people. Okay, it's that simple. So anyway, I'm going to ask you one thing. Would you please, when I hang up in a second or disconnect, get back to the people, whoever it was that thought of you and invited you on tonight, and let them know that you were on, and just let them know, say, hey, I'd really like to try that product. Hey, I got a few questions for you. Well, man, that business sounds great. I'd like to take care of a few expenses here. Show me how to do that. And ask them about the new special that was just announced an hour ago about our distributor packs. Okay, just ask them, because there's an end of the month discount special promo that the company is running, and ask about the promo. Okay, even if you're interested in the product only, ask about the promo, because the deal may be better than just getting the product. Okay, so please ask. But with that, would everybody say wave good night and say good night? I love doing this, folks. I really appreciate you. And April and I are also available to answer any questions should you have any. So have a good night. Bye-bye.